Hey, what's up, guys? This is After Midnight Confessions. I hope you are all having a great day. I certainly am. Today I got two bangers of stories. The first one is a classic cheating story, but also with a twist that you don't expect. The second one is basically a little bit of a morbid story about a neighbor who died, basically. I hope you will really enjoy them, really like them. I really enjoyed reading them to you guys. Without any further ado, please subscribe, please like, watch the whole video. Let me know what you think about it in the comments. Also, if you have any suggestions for videos, please let me know. And let's get on to the stories. My girlfriend of 8 years cheated on me with a married woman. Now divorcing, trying to make sense of it. Hi, I'm a 26 male and recently found out my girlfriend, 26 female, of 8 years had been cheating on me for the last 4 months with a married woman who has 2 kids and is about 8 years older than her. During these months, my girlfriend and I were actively planning our future, buying a house, having children, and moving into the next stage of our lives. At the same time, in her chats with this woman, she was discussing marriage, kids, and a future together, and saying she didn't care whether her family accepted their relationship. My girlfriend claims she hid her initial attraction because she didn't know how to tell me. Damn. This explanation doesn't sit right with me. I'm very open-minded and modern in my thinking. Earlier in our relationship, she held homophobic views that I helped her work through. And I also supported her when a long-term friend came out as lesbian. Because of this, I don't understand why honesty wasn't possible. One detail I'm trying to understand better is sexuality. I don't believe my girlfriend is a lesbian. Based on what she's told me, I think she may be pansexual. She said this married woman is the only woman she's ever felt attraction towards, and I genuinely believe that. She's described feeling a deep emotional connection with her and has said the sex is slightly better than with men, but not drastically different. I'm not trying to invalidate her experience, I'm just struggling to understand how a single connection escalated so quickly and replaced an 8-year relationship. The married woman is now getting divorced. My girlfriend says the divorce was already happening due to unhappiness. But from what I've seen, it appears directly connected to their relationship. I also discovered messages where this woman spoke badly about me and framed me as a bad boyfriend, despite the fact that she had only met me once, and that interaction was entirely positive. The married woman's wife reached out to me and we spoke. We're both struggling to understand how these two women claim to have fallen in love so quickly, within 4 months, while also recognizing that those months involved constant lying and secrecy. Things have ended badly after I found out. We no longer speak and likely never will. Her family knows what happened and has been supportive of me, expressing disappointment in her actions. Now, the OP also has some questions. How do you rebuild trust after a long-term betrayal? Is it normal to feel grief and anger simultaneously? How do you make sense of being mischaracterized by someone who barely knew you? What helped others move forward after losing a long-term future they believed in? Wow. I mean, I think every person in their relationship sometimes have asked themselves the what if question. What if my partner cheats on me with someone of the same sex? And of course, normally this is such a ridiculous situation. You know that's never going to happen for real. But this guy actually happened. Like, this really happened for this guy. So that's really crazy. I'm so sorry that happened. But yeah, to dig in on your questions, how do you rebuild trust after long-term betrayal? Well, what helps is talking to a mental health professional, talking to it about family, friends, and also realizing the betrayal has nothing to do with you. They chose to cheat, you didn't choose to cheat, and if you know in your heart that you've loved the person as good as you can, as much as you can, as hard as you can, then that's all you can do. Then the second question, is it normal to feel grief and anger simultaneously? Of course, you're angry that they cheated on you, but of course you're also grieving your relationship that you could have had with her. That's very normal. How do you make sense of being mischaracterized by someone who barely knew you? Now, where I'm from, this happens all the time. I'm from the Netherlands, and Dutch people, we judge each other so quickly, and people mischaracterize each other all the time, and you can't make sense of someone else's thoughts. You can't. There's nothing you can do about it. There's nothing that they can say to make you understand more. The thing you can do is just accept that that's who they are, and you're not going to stand for that, and you don't accept that, and yeah, just move on. Like that's literally all you can do. So, what helped others move forward after losing a long-term future they believed in? Well, what helped others move forward after losing a long-term future they believed in? Well, to be honest, I can't really answer those questions, that question specifically. So let's see what the comments say about this. Someone commented, first, don't dwell on the fact that she stepped out on you with a woman. From your viewpoint, it shouldn't matter whether the other person was a woman, a man, or an octopus. She stepped out on you. Second, I double-checked your age from your descriptions. The mid-20s are a crucial time for integration of personality and maturity. I suspect that what you're seeing is how things are crumbling apart for her. Put it another way, there's a possibility that most of this is on her, not you. So how do you rebuild trust? It's going to take a while. You will have to take it one step at a time. The grief and anger question, hell yeah, and 20 years later when my ex actually died, it all came back to the surface and I had to grieve her and the relationship yet again. How to deal with being mischaracterized. If the description is misplaced, just move on. It won't be the last time someone says something unfair about you. How to move forward. Take time to heal. Focus on becoming a better person and a better partner. Don't jump into another relationship right away. Big hug and good luck. And that's an amazing comment. Super, super great advice. I hope this really helps the OP. And yeah, well done. Well done. Let's move on to the next story. My neighbor called the cops on me last night and now he's dead. This is long. I'm in complete shock. It's felt like an insane 20-ish hours. I have an emergency therapist appointment, but she couldn't get me in till Monday. I thought writing it down would be cathartic in some way. Anyway, I've lived alone in the same apartment for 4 years now. It's a smaller, quiet and diverse complex. Lots of families, young professionals, but I don't really know any of my neighbors. I can recognize one or two I'll pass on the stairs and smile/nod, but that's about it. Last night, around 9:50 p.m., I get a loud knock on my door. This is odd, considering you have to have building access downstairs before even making it to the individual apartments. I look out the people and it's blocked by my Christmas wreath, so I decide to take a chance and open. It's a cop with a bulletproof vest that says Sheriff, and I'm very confused and frankly scared. He asks quietly if I know the guy next door. Huh? The neighbor to my right? Never met the guy. All I know is he keeps his work boots in front of his door. I frankly couldn't tell you anyone who lives on this hall according to the cop. My neighbor called them because he's accusing me of hacking into his phone. WTF. My face must have said it all, because he assured me they're asking me as a formality. They believe this guy to be having a mental health situation. I've never interacted with him, and this is some extreme paranoid behavior. He apologized and left. I locked my door and called my friend for support. She told me to take the breath down and get my pepper spray out. Done. I try to calm down and start my bedtime routine when I hear something at my front door. I hear it a second time. Sounds like a timid knock. Thank God I removed the wreath, sorry if I'm saying it wrong, so I can now look through the peephole. It's a strange man knocking at my door. I've never seen this man, but I can only assume he's a next door neighbor. He just stood and stared, expressionless, arms behind his back for a few minutes, waiting. All the blood must have drained from my face. I literally stopped breathing from fear. I backed away from the door and tried to be as quiet as possible. I paced a bit, unsure of what to do. Ultimately, I called my friend quietly and I asked if I could spend the night. I said I was really scared and I feel beyond unsafe. She said she would stay on the phone until I was at my car. I threw my laptop, phone charger and wallet in a bag, checked the peephole, coast is clear. Pepper spray in one hand, keys in the other, I ran out into the hall, locked the door and made it down 3 flights of stairs in no time. No one followed me. At 10:15 p.m., I was in my locked car, crying, failing to suppress a panic attack. Why did this feel like the start of a Dateline episode? But I had to get it together to drive, and I decided to call the cops. If they thought this guy was having some sort of episode, maybe he still was. Or maybe he came by because he wanted to apologize, but I wasn't about to find out. The dispatcher got my info, but I made it clear I was no longer on the premises. He said someone would be calling me later. 11:50 p.m. I'm in my friend's spare room and a call comes in from one of the cops who handled the earlier incident. She asked if I was okay and if anything had escalated. I said that he came by my door and knocked. It freaked me out so much I left the building. She said they suspected he was having a mental break of some sort, but he didn't give them enough evidence for them to actually take him away. I guess there's a magic phrase to get involuntarily committed. She confirmed he called them specifically about his neighbor trying to hack into his phone. I reiterated I've never met this guy, so it's 1000% out of the blue, but I don't want to be a part of his delusions, and that this whole thing really scared me. I let them know I'd be going to the leasing office to discuss the situation with them today. And she gave me a number to call if anything else happens. 10:45 a.m. Today, I go back to my complex and ask the director of the community if this person has ever made any complaints about me. If this is coming from somewhere, I'd like to fix it. But I'm also confused and feeling unsafe at this point. He said he's never complained, but if he had, they would have let me know. He said they'd let me move into another unit without transfer fees if I wanted. I said I'd sit on that, but he offered to call the guy and feel out the situation. Maybe he was super embarrassed and remorseful. Maybe he'd blow it off. Or worst case, maybe I was still on his shit list. And in that case, I'm definitely moving. He said he'd call me with an update later. 3:55 p.m. The apartment complex director called me and said, well, I don't really know how to say this, but in regard to the situation we spoke about earlier, the man passed away this morning. He said it wasn't in the apartment or anywhere near the premises. He didn't say what happened or how he found out about it. I assume it was S-word or adjacent. And I assume he was informed by LE. But basically, I don't have to worry about any more erratic behavior. It's been an insane less than 24 hours. I felt like I was simultaneously making a huge deal out of nothing, but also this is the stuff that needs to be documented in case it got escalated. What the literal F? Doesn't feel real at all. I hope he's at peace. I hope no one else got hurt, and thank God I removed that wreath from the door. Wow, that actually sounds like a horror movie, bro. Like, that's crazy. Definitely the right thing to remove the wreath. I think it's some sort of cover on the people, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, but wow, that's so crazy. Guy also died in the morning. Like, that's also insane. I'm happy you're okay. I'm happy nothing really bad happens. Yeah, wow. Let's see what the comments say about this. So someone commented, you would survive a horror movie with good marks. I know it was scary, but I'm happy for you, stranger. Good job. Someone else commented, that sounds like a very upsetting and stressful situation, and I'm sorry you have to go through with it and deal with this now. First of all, I want to tell you you did nothing wrong. Police are required to do their due diligence as far as investigating a crime. I'm sure they had already spoken to this person at the time that they made contact with you, and then they determined that there was no validity to his claim of hacking. And so the contact with you was just a formality. Kind of like checking the boxes that, yes, they did what they were supposed to do, and now they can close the case out as unfounded or however they do it. Secondly, I'm very glad that you got away from the situation last night and that you were safe. You took necessary steps to protect yourself and remove yourself from a potentially unstable and volatile situation. Good for you. It's unfortunate that people go through these episodes where they believe something is happening to them. There's nothing that you could have done differently in this situation that could have prevented the outcome. Whether his passing was self-induced or from natural causes, you may never know. But rest assured, you did nothing wrong, then you took all the right steps to protect yourself. Take care, take it easy on yourself, and I hope you find peace too. Wow. Great comment, totally agree with it, and yeah, I'm happy the OP is okay. Alright guys, that's gonna do it for today. 2 crazy stories. The second one was a bit long, but very detailed. I thought it was super interesting. Also the first one. Please leave a like and subscribe. I'm uploading every Tuesday, Thursday and Sunday at 6 p.m. So be sure to check out my channel, and I will see you in the next video. Later.